Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. It's 6:25 a.m. and as you can see I'm at the studio because I've got to finish off a video. This happens quite a lot, doesn't it? I really need to get a video finished because it's going live today and I'm going to London for two reasons which you'll see in this vlog. So yeah, really busy. Okay, so the video is done and it's no, it's not uploading, it's exporting now. No, it's not even exporting, it's rendering, then I'm going to export it. Am I exporting it? No, I am exporting, aren't I? It's been a very long week already. Anyway, basically, none of that mattered. The video is basically done apart from getting it onto YouTube. So that's the current task, and then it's back home. I'm taking this with me today, which is a car mount, which gives you a bit of a clue as to what part of this day is about. Quite exciting actually. But yeah, this visit to London is split into two sections, if you like. So I do need to get this bit done now, and then, well, we'll then pick things up at the train station. Don't you love it when tickets don't work in the ticket machines? We've seen those steps a few times, haven't we? Okay, first stop is Oxford Street, or actually Regent Street more specifically, and over here, which is the Microsoft Experience store. So basically it's an opportunity to look at these new Copilot PCs, which is very exciting. It's all linked in with that Snapdragon stuff that I went to in Taipei 2 weeks ago, was it? So yeah, but I'm early as always, so I've got 30 minutes now. I often do this. I often get to things way too early, but I'm in London, so I can just walk around and admire the city, can't I? And obviously, very conveniently, Microsoft. You'll know this if you've been to London and you've been to Regent Street, to the Apple store, for instance, which is just over there somewhere. The Microsoft store is just, cheers bus, just over there. Literally, what, 2 buildings away. Very clever. I've also gone completely against my own rules today and brought the bigger camera. I say the bigger camera, it's the Sony ZV-E1, which is still very small for a full frame camera, but as I've been saying recently on this vlog, I normally these days just take my phone, but for some reason I brought this. Don't really know why. I'm gonna use it. I'm kind of walking around aimlessly now and I'm thinking, why not just go in? 15 minutes ahead of time. I look keen, don't I? That's one thing. Let's do it, let's just go in. Not sure if we got that, but I got told off downstairs by the security guy for filming, even though I've come here to film stuff. I think the reason is, down there is the retail bit, and you're not allowed to film down there unless you've been given permission, obviously. But he then said, yeah, you'll need to ask whoever gave you permission to film here to get permission. And I nearly said, that was Microsoft. Anyway, so this is the experience. They've basically got a whole bunch of Copilot devices around here, guys with cameras, and they've set up 3 experiences. The first one was a mocktail, so basically Copilot asks you a bunch of questions about what type of drink you like and where you'd like to drink it and all this stuff, and then it gives the guy behind the bar the recipe for that mocktail. The second one was the image thing, where you basically use Paint. Remember Paint in Windows? Amazing. You use Paint alongside AI to make your drawings look better, basically. And then the third one was the weirdest thing I've ever done, and I couldn't get footage of it, annoyingly, but it was basically using AI to come up with a business pitch. So we went over to this guy over here, pulled a ball out of a big box of balls, which all these balls had business ideas in them. So you open up your ball, and my ball said something like insect protein shakes or something. And then the idea is that you use AI to come up with a business pitch for that business idea in that ball. I hope this is making sense. And then we got in a lift and went up 100 flights. We didn't go up 100 flights, it just opened the other side. While we're in the lift, used the AI thing in Paint to draw the kind of marketing for this new business idea, and then went into this room with an investor sitting there, and we had to pitch this idea, which I did. And if you've been watching this vlog for a while, you know that I have a really, really weird job. I can guarantee none of that made sense, apologies. However, time check, it's 12:15. I've got to make my way from here now to Tottenham. I'm going to Tottenham for a very specific reason, obviously, and very different to this, but yeah. Well, let's get going. Now, understandably, you might be asking, what was the point in that? And it's a press event, so basically they're launching the whole Copilot thing today, I think, and these experiences they just took us through were designed to get us talking about it, basically. And I will do some kind of content on it, most likely short form, because I can't make a full YouTube video about that, but yeah, interesting. We are in the era of AI now, and what's interesting is that those 3 experiences were all quite simple, but I think that's what we need. I think AI can get way too complicated and completely unrelatable. So we're going here, and I've just missed the tube. Awesome. Okay, so if you're wondering, it has nothing to do with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Nothing to do with football at all, actually. No, I'm going somewhere else to get something, to get a review unit, actually. And I'm not travelling home on the train, which is a massive clue. But yeah, now I need to work out whether to get a bus, which I do not fancy. I don't know how buses work in London. I've never got the bus in London. I've always relied on the tube, or walk, or an Uber. So let's have a look. How far is this place? It is a 46-minute walk, which is pushing it, to be honest, or a 9-minute cab ride. I think it's going to be an Uber. It is, yep. Hey dear mate, you alright? Yeah, I guess so. Cheers. Okay, made it. And can you guess where I am yet? Can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess which place I've come to? Yep, Tesla. Okay, so the weird day continues. I should say that I don't vlog every day, obviously, because you get so fed up of that. But I appreciate that it might look like all my days are just really varied and interesting, and you may not think that, but all this kind of flying between one place and the other. Trust me, I promise, there are days in between what you see and what I choose to film that are very normal, very mundane, admin-y type stuff, editing, filming myself in the studio. It's not all like this all the time. I thought I should mention that, just because I get the feeling that the vlogs that I've made recently have been just ridiculously varied in terms of what I'm doing. It's the best thing about this job. You never really know what you're going to be doing from one week to the next, and yeah, I'm very lucky to have these experiences. Anyway, Microsoft this morning, that was weird. I don't know if my description of what I was doing earlier made any sense at all, but it was basically just some demos of the Copilot software, which they were making as interesting as possible by having these wacky things going on, like fake business pitches and things. Anyway, so that's happened, and I've just picked up this Model 3 Tesla, because this is going to feature in a video later this month. Is it, or is it July? I think it's later this month. And basically, I'm going to take this as far as I can and back in 2 days. So between over the course of Thursday and Friday this week. As I film this, it's Tuesday, but on Thursday and Friday, I'm driving up to Scotland. So driving up to Edinburgh and back down again after staying the night. And the idea being, really, I want to see how easy it is to do that on the supercharger network, on the Tesla supercharger network, because if you've seen my other car videos, I've featured BMWs and Porsche, etc., and BYD, and it's always a bit of a challenge keeping the car charged if you go off piste a bit, and if you do a big road trip. It is a challenge, there's no two ways about it, and I've heard again and again and again that Tesla is much easier because of the availability of superchargers and how quick they are and all that sort of stuff, and also how they're integrated into the car itself, finding them and the way that it builds it into the route and that sort of stuff. So I've been fascinated by that. Being a car guy, it's something that really fascinates me anyway, and I think we've struggled with the previous car content because it hasn't been massively accepted by the algorithm. The algorithm on YouTube is incredibly brutal. It really kind of railroads you and pigeonholes you based on the content that you make that's most successful. And because of that, even if there is a crossover, and there is with cars and tech do go hand in hand, particularly these days, even with that, you do struggle to get the same audience that you'd normally get. I just have a feeling, I think, possibly, that Tesla content might be a little bit more popular. So it's a bit of an experiment, really, just to see if that's the case. And this is the first Tesla we're kind of showing on the channel. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the audience reacts to it. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to drive this up to Edinburgh on Thursday, which I'm looking forward to. I love Edinburgh. I won't be there for very long, obviously, because I'm there for an evening and driving back down the next day. I need to get back for the nursery run, basically, on Friday. Glamorous life of a YouTuber. Quick thoughts on the Tesla. I've only driven it. I've literally driven it for about 15 minutes. It's just really easy to drive. I think kids these days, I'm going to sound really old now, they don't know that they're born, basically, when it comes to driving, how easy it is to drive these electric cars. It's just put your foot down and you go, and everything is just touchscreen, and there's no controls in here at all, apart from on the steering wheel. We've got that's one weird thing. You don't have indicator stalks or windscreen wiper stalks. You have haptic buttons on the steering wheel for indicating left and right, and it takes a bit of getting used to. But anyway, going back to the kids thing, when they get to the age of driving, when my son Harrison gets to the age of driving, if they are still driving at that point, he's only 2, it's just so easy. We had to deal with gears and stuff and older cars and all the stuff that comes with that. And I love driving, and I did pass first time, by the way. Had to get that in. But yeah, this is just such a simple car to drive. It's such a simple experience. I'm going to reserve judgment on any of it until I've been driving it for a couple of days. But it's just, you get in it and you just drive. Simple. And the system on the infotainment system on here is really interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I think, guys, I'm going to sign this vlog off here, because the rest of the day is me just getting back to Warwickshire. And that's fairly boring. So it's a very busy few days ahead. Very exciting few days ahead, but very busy. And I think what I'll probably do is catch up with you on the day of the trip, on the day of the Edinburgh trip. And I'll vlog those 2 days. So in the meantime, guys, thank you for getting this far. If you have, that's amazing. And take care. Tell your mates about this channel. And if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. And loads of instructions here, sorry. If you really enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. It makes a big difference. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers.